Hello and welcome to another edition of the Coach's Corner. Students are out on break, so we brought in the so-called big guns to take over. I'm Nate Lake along with Rob White, who's next to me. It's about time Eric gave us a chance to host this thing, don't you think, Rob?
Indeed.
We're of course coming to you from the Tivoli Tap House, where you can enjoy great beer and great food right here on the Auraria campus. Rob, so who do we have on today's show?
Well, it was a big weekend for our men's basketball team, so of course we'll have head coach Michael Bahl with us. We'll try to stump him with some Roadrunners trivia, although quite frankly, the first one's a layup for him. But maybe the bonus round will be tough. All right. We'll also have junior guard Garrett Carter. Garrett had a great weekend. Led the team in scoring Friday night, led scoring Saturday night, and led in assists on Sunday. We'll talk with him about that, and we'll get to know the California native just a little bit better. And with New Year's right around the corner, we'll bring you the top Roadrunners moments from the past year. We'll help the audience relive some of those amazing moments from the past 12 months.
Looking forward to that. Well, Rob, I can safely say this is going to be the best episode of the Coach's Corner yet. Maybe a little overconfident there, but before we bring on our first guest, let's get you caught up on everything that happened this weekend in Roadrunners sports. Our women's basketball team welcomed in Colorado Mesa to downtown Denver on Saturday night, and it was a battle to the end. The RMAC's leading scorer, Jalen Duran of Mesa, couldn't miss in the first half, piling up 23 points to put her team ahead at the break. But MSU Denver's Jalen Smith took the team on her shoulders and brought them all the way back. The senior guard scored a career-high 36 points, which included a Roadrunners record of 29 in one half of play. But the Mavericks got some key baskets late to steal away the 68-63 victory. The Roadrunners would also fall to Western State the following night for a tough weekend.
Now for the men, and they also went toe-to-toe against the Mavericks at the Auraria Event Center. On the shoulders of Connor Nichols, Colorado Mesa took a 35-30 lead at halftime, but Coach Ball's squad scored 43 points in the second half, including a season-high 20 points from Garrett Carter to take the victory 73-68. Then it was on to Sunday, where MSU Denver scored a season-high 86 points to defeat Western State Colorado. 10 different Roadrunners scored. 9 scored at least 6 points, and the team shot 58% from the field, including 48% from beyond the arc. That win makes it 3 in a row now for the men's basketball team. They're 3-2 in RMAC play.
Awesome. So now we welcome in junior guard Garrett Carter to the show. Garrett, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man.
Glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, congratulations on the wins this weekend. We mentioned it was your team's 3rd straight victory. How confident is this team playing right now? You're kind of in the groove. Does it feel like that to you?
It does. Coaching staff's in our ear, letting us know that we're playing well and just keep up the good work. You know, we're just preaching positivity, and that's helping, and that's getting us wins. Preaching positivity.
All right, Saturday night, Garrett, you kind of took on more of a scoring role, had a player out of the lineup, stepped up and scored, really had a breakout game offensively. You know, what did that mean for you personally, and what kind of pride did you take in your ability to do that?
You know, scoring is, you know, something that, you know, I've always been able to do, but with the help of my teammates and my coaching staff, they always, you know, they're in my ear letting me know that, you know, that's a good shot, that's a bad shot, and, you know, you need to start getting to the paint, you know, getting your teammates involved. So, you know, just with them being in my ear, it helps me. You know, it just helps me.
So Sunday against Western State, you guys scored 86 points, a season high on the year. The offense was really just clicking. First half, second half, really just had that flow the whole time. Do you think that was something where you guys felt like you needed to score higher, playing a kind of high-powered offense in Western State, or do you think something just clicked for you guys?
You know, coaches were letting us know that we need to score more in transition, you know. So with us scoring more in transition, that leads to more points, more shots at the rim. So, you know, we pushed the ball. We got out in transition, and, you know, that's what led to us getting 86 points.
Awesome. Well, you know, you don't get 86 points without having a good game from quite a few players. So 10 different teammates scored in that game. Like Rob mentioned, I believe 9 scored at least 6 points. How much fun is it to see all your teammates contributing to a big win like that?
It's a lot of fun, especially because we're so close off the court. So with us being close off the court, it's just, you know, we want to see each other succeed. You know, so it's so much fun playing with these guys, and I just love it. So.
All right, so let's get to know you a little bit personally. Came here from after playing 2 seasons at Cal State Los Angeles. You were at Rialto, California native. Tell us how you ended up here in downtown Denver.
Initially, I had committed out of high school to Chico State, where our previous assistant coach Gabe, and he recruited me this last year and was like, you know, I got a great opportunity for you. And we looked into it, and it just felt like it was just the best opportunity. You know, it was a better culture here, better environment, and I just feel like it's just helping me grow as a person and as a player.
All right, and we were talking, you and I, earlier about your relationship with Drew Sasa. Played against him for 2 years. Played 4 times against him. His numbers were a little better, but you guys were 3-1. With maybe that's the more important thing. Right. Now you guys are roommates. So just tell me how that relationship is between you guys, and just kind of how all that worked out.
Drew's, that's my guy, 100%. So you know, when I found out he was coming here, he found out I was coming here. You know, him and we got in contact with each other, and you know, our relationship built from there. You know, I say in the springtime, you know, we just started talking more often, and you know, we just started building that good rapport with each other. And with us being roommates, it just helps even more. So I love playing with him. I love him. He's a good dude.
It's kind of funny when you never know that person's going to end up being your teammate when you're guarding him on the court. Next thing you know, here you are. You guys are teammates and roommates. That's pretty cool. You will have to tell him to take a couple more 2-pointer shots on the court, though, so that we can hear Druce with the deuce from our PA announcer, Andy McClure, who's a champ. We'll see, because he takes a lot of threes. So. Which isn't a bad thing. He makes a lot of them. It says in your bio at roadrunnersathletics.com that you are majoring in communications, TV, and film. So tell us what that entails, and what do you hope to do with that after you're done with college? Well,
I've always loved being in front or behind the camera. So, you know, when I got to college, I told myself that's what I'm gonna pursue. I'm gonna pursue that field. So, TV and film. I love TV and film, and I want to end up becoming like a sports analyst or sports broadcaster. That's my goal. But honestly, I just want to be in front or behind the camera, whether that's I'm talking or I'm doing behind the scenes work.
So what you're saying is this is pretty good practice.
This is great practice. This is great practice.
So, I mean, you know, it'd be kind of cool if you took over the show once you graduate. You're probably a lot better at it than us. But I believe Rob has another question for you next.
Okay. So let's move on and talk about your relationship with Coach Bahl, fitting into the Coach Bahl system, trying to understand exactly the way MSU Denver wants to play, the kind of shots they're looking to take, and the way you guys share the ball as a team. How's that transition been for you?
It's a process, but I feel like we're going in the right direction. Coach Bahl and we have a great relationship on and off the court. So, you know, with him being in my ear often, you know, it just helps. We just continue to help. Him and Coach Johnston is the best coaching staff I've had. So, you know, it's just great playing for him. It's really great playing for him.
Awesome. For those who have not seen you on the court yet, kind of describe to them what kind of player you are once you hit the hardwood. I mean, we saw you score 20 points on Saturday. We saw you dish in 7 assists on Sunday. Do you like being a facilitator, scorer, both? Kind of tell us what player you see yourself as.
I see myself as just a playmaker, you know, whether, you know, my team, if we need to score, then I feel like I can get a bucket. If somebody's hot, I feel like I could get that person involved more. So I just say classify myself as just a playmaker, not so much a scorer or a facilitator, just a playmaker.
And you prefer playing defense?
I prefer playing defense. I love playing defense. I went to a high school that preached defense, and it just stuck with me, you know, throughout my collegiate career. So I love defense.
You're definitely going to have a big chance to guard a lot of talented players in the RMAC, so that'll be awesome to watch you the rest of the season. Garrett, thank you for coming on the show. Good luck on Wednesday before we have our last game of the break, and have a great holiday season.
Thank you. You guys too. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Garrett.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Before we take our first break, it's time where we bring on our tweet of the week. And so this week, our tweet of the week comes from our athletics account at MSU Denver Sports, and it is an amazing picture of our boss, fearless leader, athletic director Anthony Grant, who is sporting his white elephant bounty from the athletics holiday party. Wow, that is a nice looking pair of headphones, and we better see him using those around the administrative offices. In fact, Rob, I think I already have seen him wearing them a couple times.
Yeah, he wore them the next day, absolutely.
So he is proudly rocking those pink feline headphones. Make sure to give us a follow on Twitter so you can stay up to date on all of our 16 sports here at MSU Denver. It's time for that break, but we're coming right back with more basketball talk here on the Coach's Corner.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking.
Kids fall in love with sports. Our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
Distracted driving kills.
What is distracted driving?
Distraction is any time you take your eyes off the road,
your hands off the wheel,
or your mind off driving safely.
Sending or reading a text
takes your mind off the road for 5 seconds.
At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the entire length of a football field.
Blindfolded.
It's extremely dangerous.
In 2014,
over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes.
Pledge to stop distracted driving.
Pledge to stop distracted driving.
Pledge to stop distracted driving.
I'm Jaron Taylor, senior forward for the men's basketball team.
And there's Jaron Taylor, so long. He muscles his way in for 2 points.
And you're watching Coach's Corner, Get Rowdy.
So glad you're back with us here on the Coach's Corner. Before we talk to MSU Denver men's basketball head coach Michael Bahl, we want to remind you of another place you can enjoy some delicious Tivoli brews. Next time you're at the airport, you can now visit the Tiv to enjoy all the delicious brews that you drink right here at the Tivoli Tap House in downtown Denver. The Tiv is located on the ground floor of the Westin Hotel at DIA, so whether you are coming to Denver or going from Colorado, you can still enjoy all the great Tivoli beers. So take flight at the Tiv. So now we say hello to men's basketball head coach Michael Bahl, and who better to talk about basketball than head coach Michael Bahl. Michael, thanks for joining us tonight.
How long have you been waiting to say that?
I mean, I was very excited. I hope it landed. I hope everyone's enjoying a nice laugh out there, but they're probably just rolling their eyes.
That's all right, man. I appreciate to be here. Good seeing you too.
We've heard you say on numerous occasions this year that winning is difficult, and this program might be a little spoiled because of all the success we've seen in its history. Got a couple of wins this weekend, so how do those wins feel as you head along in this season?
I think with the team that we have and as many new pieces as we have, I think you need that sort of instant gratification at times to sort of just solidify, hey, we're going down the right path, we're doing all the right things, continue to stay the course. And I think winning just helps that. Winning's a byproduct of establishing what you want to do as a team and as a culture. And, you know, we were fortunate enough to get 2 wins this weekend.
All right, so let's talk about the first win, the win against Colorado Mesa. They came in, they were playing really well, scoring a bunch of points. They're up 5 at halftime. They're shooting 57% from the field. Second half, you guys held them to 32% and kind of took control in the second half. What happened defensively second half?
You know, I think we learned our lesson from Chadron State. You know, it was a very similar game. It was a close game. We were actually down by 2, I believe, at Chadron, and we learned from our previous mistakes. You know, we took it as, you know what, we're not playing our best defensively and we're only down by 5. You know, what can we possibly do to correct this? And I think our guys did what we needed to do. We got some easy buckets offensively, some shots started to fall, which makes everything a little bit easier defensively. So I think we learned from our previous, you know, failures that helped us in that game.
So kind of switching gears to the offense, we talked with Garrett a little bit about stepping up big offensively that night. Talk about his performance that night, and also talk to us about bringing Garrett Carter here from California to Denver.
You know, Garrett's he's a California kid, and Lucas Gabriel sort of had a previous relationship with him. Lucas was my former assistant that was on staff last year. He's now at Bellevue as the associate head coach. And he had a previous relationship with Garrett. And then when Garrett decided that he wanted to transfer schools from Cal State LA, he threw a phone call in to Coach Gabriel, and you know, it was a no-brainer for us. You know, Garrett's one of those kids. He's a multi-dimensional player. You know, he really is. He's super athletic, very good in transition. In the first couple games, I think he was struggling. I think everyone saw it. He was trying to do too much. You know, so I think his development was, you know, rely on your teammates. You know, think about your teammates first before yourself. And he's done that the past 3 games. And I think on Saturday night he scored 20 points when we needed him to score. You know, and then obviously I know we'll talk about Mesa, but the next night he only scores 10. You know, so he's a jack of all trades type of player, and we're just very lucky to have him.
So we talked a little bit with Garrett as well about his relationship with Drew Sasa, who also transferred here. Talk about that, how it's been cool to see those guys kind of develop.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool experience for those two, and we sort of did it a certain way. They're actually roommates as well. You know, we knew Drews and Garrett, they're different personalities, but they both have a common goal of trying to be really good basketball players, and I think their personalities sort of hit it off, and you know, you would think they've known each other for 10 years the way they hang out with each other. And that camaraderie between a guard and a shooter, I mean, I can't tell you how many times Garrett finds Drews for open shots, and a lot of his assists come off him, and they feed off each other. So, again, we're just very fortunate to have those two here, and they work very well together.
Want to see if we could maybe go behind the scenes a little bit. Eric's crew got some nice footage of you post-game against Mesa. Talked to Tommy Nuno. He had a big second half. Kind of like a Bobby Knight or Mike Krzyzewski in the handshake line, kind of talking to a player from their team. What kinds of things maybe did you say to Tommy, or just in general, what do you say to guys after games?
I know Tommy. He's a Fresno City kid, and we have a sort of Metro State has a good relationship with Fresno City. Coach Ed Maddock is the head coach there. Coach Adam Wall, who coached with me when I was here, Lucas Gabriel, they all came from their under Ed Maddock's coaching tree. And me and Lucas actually went out to Fresno City last year, and we were looking at some of their players, and Tommy Nuno was one of them. And I just shook his hand and said, man, you're exactly what I thought you would be. You're going to have a phenomenal career, and I couldn't be more proud of you. You know, keep doing your thing, you know. So you never want to cheer against a kid. I mean, you know, so I wish him the best, and, you know, he's a really nice player, and Mesa State's very lucky they have him.
So the following night, we took on Western State, who had yet to win a conference game this season, but they had some impressive wins on their resume, Air Force, etc. They can score with the best of them, shoot a lot of threes. What was your game plan going in against a team that seems so volatile from game to game?
You know, we try to keep it simple. You know, we want to make them shoot the types of shots we want them to shoot, and that's contested jumpers. I thought we did a really good job, especially in the first half, of getting them sort of out of their rhythm, and they sort of had to break it off. And they're a pattern team with a lot of movement, cutting, and we did our job because they started breaking it off and going one-on-one. You know, we got a little too spread, and that gave them some opportunities. But for the most part, you know, we have good athletes, we have good defenders, and, you know, we'll take our chances if we can make them shoot those contested jump shots.
And they're really an up-tempo team, but you guys played at that pace too and did very well. It scored a season high with 86 points. Do you like playing that way?
Yeah, I mean, I want to run. I've never wanted to play slow. You know, it just so happens when you have as many new guys, you know, you're going to have to sort of adjust, and the guys are going to have to figure out, in order to play fast, it's a privilege to play fast. You know, a lot of coaches want to play fast, but I'm also a big believer in taking care of the basketball. You know, so understanding shot selection, understanding, hey, this is where we want to get the ball every time down. You know, everybody's got a role on the team. It took us a while to sort of get there. We're not quite there yet, but, you know, we sort of unleashed them on Sunday and said, man, just go play. Be who you are. You guys understand what a good shot is. You understand the pace we want to play at. I trust you. I believe in you. Now be who you are. You know, and we had 9 turnovers. We played extremely fast, only had 9 turnovers and 19 assists. So that's credit to the guys. You know, they really did a nice job.
Yes, you talked about the chemistry a little bit. That's 3 straight wins. Obviously, the team is starting to play a little bit better together. You think they're just starting to gel, confidence growing, or do you think they're really just starting to buy into what you and Coach Johnson are preaching?
I think it's a combination of everything. You know, we have so many new players, and the guys I wanted, Jaron Taylor, Kane Van Heinigen, Enrique Cortez, the guys who were played last year, you know, they're a huge help. Enrique's given us phenomenal minutes. Jaron Taylor's starting to find his groove now. Played 11 minutes, had 8 points. I mean, he really is a guy who can come in and give us that off the bench. Kane Van Heinigen had one of his best games on Sunday. You know, 7 rebounds, 6 points, and 17 minutes to play. I mean, that's huge. And those guys are the guys that we lean on in order to carry us. So I think as those guys continue to develop in their leadership roles, the other guys will follow. And also, I mean, to answer your question, Nate, Time's the answer to everything. You know, the guys are buying in. We're staying the course. We're starting to see some success, and hopefully we can run with it on Wednesday.
Right, and we're excited for the rest of the season. Yeah. So it's that time of the show where we try to stump our head coach with some Roadrunners trivia. This is the first time we've asked Coach Bahl a question this year. So, Coach, we're going to ask you a question regarding some history with the men's basketball program. We keep track of the scores all season long, and the coach with the top prize gets a prize. Top scorer gets a prize. Are you ready for some trivia, Coach?
I'm ready.
All right. Here's your question. And Rob keeps saying it's a layup. We'll see. It's multiple choice. So I'll read you the question and then the choices. Who is the all-time scoring leader in Roadrunners men's basketball history?
That is a layup.
We've got.
You're right, Rob.
Is it A, Luke Kendall, B, DeMarco Anzuris, or C, Michael Bahl?
Oh, I wish it was C, but unfortunately it's DeMarco Anzuris.
All right, so Michael Bahl is correct. That is the answer, and we've got a chance at a bonus point to keep you up there with the rest of the coaches who have competed in the trivia so far this year. So if you can tell us how many points Anzuris scored in his career, we'll give you a bonus point. And according to Eric, we'll give you the point if it's close, too.
So it's 2,102.
Close enough. Man, I don't know if that counts as close enough, but the answer is 2,116. 16. So 14 points off. I mean, I think that's in the range somewhere.
I like it. I'll take it.
So, yeah. Well, Coach, thanks for playing the game. Thanks for coming on the show, answering my extra question, and good luck on Wednesday.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We got to take one more break, but stay close because we're going to bring you the best Roadrunner moments of the 2018 calendar year when we come back.
In the heart of the city, Metropolitan State University of Denver is holding the line on the American dream. Our students come from every background and experience. They are tenacious, purposeful, entrepreneurial. They choose the highest quality and best value in Colorado higher education, and they choose their own roads for more than 70 undergrad and graduate degrees. Relevant, hands-on, and affordable education. Discover your road to success at msudenver.edu.
Freezing rain, snow, ice. When winter storms strike, we release the beast. Colorado's biggest, baddest, severe weather tracker takes you to the center of the storm. The Pinpoint Weather Beast on Fox 31.
I'm Kane Van Heiningen, junior forward for the men's basketball team.
Has to get that up to the rim and a swat there by Kane Van Heiningen.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
So before we relive some of the most amazing moments from this past year in Roadrunners athletics, we want to remind you that it's not too late to get that Roadrunners fan something great for the holiday season. Visit shopmsudenver.com for some amazing Christmas gifts that includes golf equipment, Roadrunners apparel, office doodads, cell phone cases, and the list goes on and on. So don't wait any longer with Christmas right around the corner. I believe it's in like 8 days. It's coming up fast on me. So that's shopmsudenver.com. So we're about to say hello to the year 2019. So first we want to bring you the top 10 moments from the past 2018 Roadrunner year. So Rob, are you ready to relive some of the greatest plays and performances from this past year?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's go. Number 10 comes in from our men's basketball team who battled New Mexico Highlands in January. Bunama Keita was having a block party that night at the Auraria Event Center. Senior forward swatted 5 Cowboy shots, holding Highlands to just 41 points that night. The Cowboys just didn't get it. They kept trying over and over and over to find those points in the paint, but Keita was there and wasn't having it. Maybe next time they should stay out on the perimeter.
All right, how about a 9-for-9 moment for number 9? Baseball's Donnie Ortiz Jr. had an incredible 2-game stretch that saw the senior second baseman pound out 9 hits in 10 plate appearances versus Sioux Falls in mid-February. And that 10th plate appearance, that was a walk. So here's the final stat line for Ortiz Jr. in those 2 games. He was 9-for-9 with 9 runs scored, 5 runs driven in, 2 doubles, a triple, and a walk, while raising his average from .333 to .533. The senior would go on to earn first-team All-RMAC honors.
I think in a sport where you can go 1 for 3 and make the Hall of Fame, 9 for 9 sounds pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And, I mean, it just has to be moment number 9, right?
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Yeah, no choice.
How about a little women's soccer in our 8th moment? Raina Banks was a player on a mission this year. If anyone saw her, she was out there just killing it for the whole season. The senior striker, who had 6 goals for the entire 2017 season, racked up 9 goals in the season's first 6 games in 2018. She would score 2 goals in the first game of the season, and it was on after that. The California native was leading the nation in goals scored during that time, as the Roadrunners saw a number 7 national ranking at one point. It would go on and earn all RMAC first team honors and named co-player of the year. She finished with 13 goals scored while leading her squad back to the RMAC tournament.
A senior. Moving on to a freshman just beginning her career, softball's Corey Wright had a stellar 2018 season in winning the RMAC's Freshman of the Year award. This California native was 4th on the team in batting average, in runs driven in home runs, and in total bases. She also played an amazing third base, which included this great double play, catching a foul ball right up against the fence. Then she's gunning down the runner, trying to tag up and take second. The future is bright for Corey Wright and her softball team.
Can't wait to host the 2019 Softball National Championships.
Looking forward to that. That's going to be great.
That's going to be awesome. So back to the pitch in moment number 6. I like that rhyme. Kyle Van Alstyne, who made his mark playing defense for the men's soccer team, decided to wow the nation in his team's match against Fort Hays State. The 6'1 senior finds the back of the net on this amazing bicycle kick in the second half. Who knew this man, who usually keeps the ball out of the net, could score in such an exciting way? And not only did the Roadrunners fans like the play, ESPN liked it even more than us as well, making it their top play of the day in their top 10 list. We had a guy make number 1 play Unfortunately, he's only number 6 on our list, but I think that's because we're going over the whole season and not just one day. But number 1 on SportsCenter. I mean, come on.
How good is this list? I mean, Eric Lansing, our producer. I don't know, Eric. Is this your best effort? There's 5 better than this. Okay, let's go. All right, moving on to moment number 5. Freshman phenom Michael DK had an outstanding performance at the 2018 RMAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. The Toronto, Ontario native would race his way to a 3rd-place finish in the 400-meter dash, earning the bronze medal. That race earned him all RMAC honors, and he would go on and qualify for the NCAA national meet a few weeks later. And remember, folks, this guy was just a freshman, just getting started.
Excited to see him run this year. It's going to be pretty fun. While DK is just getting started, senior men's tennis great Josh Greats, if you caught that one there, wrapped up his career by earning the RMAC's Man of the Year award. The honor is handed out to those graduating student athletes who have distinguished themselves throughout their college career in academics, athletics, community service, and in leadership. Greats holds numerous records for the men's tennis program and was named a 2018 ITA All-American. He propelled all that success into becoming MSU Denver's men's and women's tennis head coach. Pretty good career if you ask me. And if you ask me as well, I don't know if you're asking me, but
I'll go ask you.
All right, he'll ask me. So Josh is also just an all-around great guy. All-around great career, all-around great guy.
Yeah,
we love him.
Great guy, great guy. All right, moment number 3 comes from our women's cross-country team, which had one of its best days in the 2018 regional meet right here in Denver at Washington Park. The conditions were just awful, but the ladies were not. They were fantastic. They raced to a 5th-place finish, which included an all-region performance by Sabrina Rauter. The senior finished the race in a personal record time of 21 minutes and 59 seconds, finishing 9th overall. The 5th-place team finish propelled the Roadrunners to a spot in the NCAA Division II National Championships for the first time since 2014, and they went on to finish 22nd overall.
You know, I can attest to that weather on that day, Rob. I mean, Eric Lansing, our producer, who has not gone without mention in this show, had a layer of ice covering his entire body. I think if you would have, knocked on Eric's side, it literally would have shattered off of him. He was like a shell of ice, an ice sculpture. Eric Lansing is what we saw that day.
Yeah.
But as he always is, he was out there grinding out with everyone else, and we appreciate him for that. So we will move on to number 2. Sticking with some playoff magic, our women's basketball team was back in the NCAA tournament for the first time in 5 seasons in 2018, and boy did they take full advantage. They took on fellow RMAC foe CSU Pueblo, who won the RMAC regular season and tournament championships. 4 Roadrunners scored in double figures, which included a 17-point, 12-rebound performance by senior forward Georgia Ordorf. The Roadrunners scored 48 points in the second half, defeating the Thunderwolves 78-70 to advance to the regional semis. A great 2017-2018 season for the women's basketball program.
All right, drum roll please. And the top moment from the 2018 year comes from our volleyball team, which had a lot of uncertainty about reaching the NCAA tournament this season. The volleyball program hadn't missed the big dance in 18 seasons, and a loss in the first round of the RMAC tournament would definitely have put that in danger. The Roadrunners' first opponent, it was Regis, which had beaten MSU Denver both times during the regular season. Head coach Jenny Glenn and her squad came out flying, though, taking the first 2 sets. But the Rangers would fight back and take set 3. Into the 4th, and it looked like Regis would force a 5th set, leading 24-21. But the home team would reel off the next 5 points to end it right there and advance to the semifinal round. It was an emotional victory, and they would use that momentum to defeat Colorado Mines in Golden a few days later in another tremendous match, a thrilling comeback. That was enough to punch their ticket for their 19th straight trip to the NCAA tournament, and an exciting moment that we won't soon forget.
Well, what an awesome list to go through and remember all the awesome moments that happened with MSU Denver Athletics in 2018. We're excited to see what 2019 will bring us, including the softball and volleyball Division II NCAA National Championships right here in Denver. Before we finish up our last Coach's Corner of 2018, we want to remind you of some basketball that's coming up this week. Our men's basketball team will be back at it this Wednesday afternoon, hosting Northwest Nazarene at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Coming out to the Auraria Event Center and cheer on Coach Bahl and his squad as they look to make it 4 straight wins heading into the break. So that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank Coach Bahl and Garrett Carter for coming on today's show. And we want to thank you for tuning in today for the entire 2018 year. The next time you'll see us will be in the new year on January 7th. So have a happy holiday and a safe new year. For Rob White, I'm Nate Lake. We'll see you next time on the Coach's Corner.